Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
My mic is unmuted. My tongue is not being held. My tongue is not tied, though my flow was kind of twisted like my mind, so my mind flies high. I'm in the clouds, but I'm not high. I'm with souls that are live and that live through me, flow through me as I do them. I'm now networking and promoting the truth in a whole nother realm. Not the past, not the future, but the now. And after all time, where my alter egos reside. I'm looking at myself, be myself, and no, my physical self is not laying and staining concrete, seeing the light. Because I am alive. I am day. I am night. I am the light. I am time that is still, though yet in motion. And once in a while, my grip, it gets slippery like lotion. So my life is up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes I'm fast, sometimes I'm slow. Yes, I'm exposing myself. Yes, I expose myself when I'm with my pen and my pad. I'm X-rated with it. I'm delivering psychological nudity, mind manipulation. I'm sending subliminal messages, painting pictures only your mind can see. It's surreal. Salvador Dali. Imagination, it's more important than intelligence. Call it Albert Einstein. I'm giving mind pics, surreal and abstract. Go ahead, call it Salvador Picasso. I'm hip hop in the backpack. That's lyrical stimulation. I-Nspiration, getting you horny for intelligence. A as an angelic, E as an exploitation. Yes, I'm not dumbing it down for nothing. Lupe Fiasco. So the show goes on with complicated realities that's abstract. Again, Picasso. I'm exposing life's complications that are hidden in the shadows of the background. It's surreal. Once again, it's Salvador Dali, and I am I-Nspiration, and that is my soul. Life is what you make it. You learn to see it, to experience it, to feel it. Because the life you lead, that's the life you see. So grab a hold of it. And don't be afraid to be weak. And don't be too proud to be strong. Just open up your heart and be a friend, not a fiend. If you wish, then start to laugh or cry. Just be yourself. Don't hide. The eyes of truth be the eyes of you. So the tongue of lies will be the tongue of yours. So you hear no evil, therefore you see no evil. So you speak no evil. Well, it doesn't make it right. And again, it doesn't make it wrong. Really, it just makes it yours. But still you ask why? Why won't I die? But even on Judgment Day, you want to escape the spirit, your imagination, because you are no imitation. I mean, do you see me? I mean, the genuine me, the real me. And if so, do you understand why I be who I be? You feel this world is changing right before thee. Welcome. Welcome to my ecstasy state of mind. What are you doing here? What do you want? Uniqueness, something exciting, something new. Am I right? Of course I am. I know what you want. You want ecstasy, desire and dreams, but yet things not exactly what they seem. Let's recreate the world. The palace of perfection is burning. The palace of imagination is on the rise. Will you dig it? Doors open, doors closed. Get in before it's slammed in your face. Want something exciting and something new? I gave it to you. I gave you ecstasy. I gave you love to the maximum. And we experienced the universe. You wonder what I do? Well, now you know. I do it all, but I do it only with you. Let's say this 8-hour free ride. It's a journey indeed. We'll tell all the people we see, the party people indeed, and we'll fire up all the green weed. Follow us down. We'll set you free. Oh, you don't got to run. We'll pick up everyone. Come on, my sweet. Take me by the hand. Don't bother me. Drink that wine. I understand. All our troubles are buried in the sand. Don't you see the wonder at your feet? All our worries are 6 feet deep. Set yourself free. Do everything you ever wanted to do. Let it all out. Ain't no cop gonna bust you here. Because they're going down. Seize the summit in your pride. Take the winner in your stride. Take whatever you want on this ride. But me, I'm gonna walk through a rage of bullets without an ounce of blood spared. Ain't no limit of lives to spare. You could shoot me. I don't care. I lay down and relax in the middle of a war in this concrete jungle, and I'll admire the sky. The red orange sky holds its breath at the distant horizon to help me understand why. Why must we come from the deep end of reality, and learn to accept meditation, relaxation, learn how to love, learn how to live? See, I come from the deep to stretch the mind in all different ways. Experience, experience, experience. It's all about this. It's all about now. Anytime, anywhere, just aim high. Think a rise into other worlds besides mine? Yeah, I do. Especially at the underground where I fly high, but this world's of mine and I see nothing but a tricolored sky. It's never my want to align my soul 6 feet deep on the solid ground. I just think happy thoughts and I try to spread peace through this place. While in this ecstasy state of mind, don't nothing seem to bind. Everything feel fine, because I'm a seer, a believer, a healer. But why must it be that society calls me a drug dealer? I'm a soul doctor, a curer. I do my finest work in an altered state of mind. When I'm warm my soul, then I have total access to this hidden reality, and I can flow. But don't doubt me, because you're unsophisticated from my point of view. You just never knew. You ain't never seen what I seen, how I seen it. And you ain't never felt what I felt, how I felt it. You just never knew. You think my point of view is fantasy? Well, I see this shit here as an immediate reality. If you could only see through my touch, feel through my eyes, you might understand. But don't call me crazy, because you don't understand. A short-term memory loss, a crippled mind, it don't mean I'm going to lose. Because if I could see it, I could dream it. Hell, I could even be it. I can see things that you won't even dare to imagine. In your eyes, it's not a fine wine. Still, behind your eyes, I'm the bad guy. Why? I've been writing these poems since before I was a thought in my father's mind. Since God been writing and speaking thoughts into my father's mind, I've been writing these poems with and through God as a vessel. Until my father took the thoughts, turned the games for gain of my mom, and the result was me in a human form. I then became a poet and a fighter so I could keep writing these poems. See, it all started with invisible ink, powered by thoughts, universal vibrations that had scriptures upon my soul, until I could learn to write in the physical form. See, I've been writing these poems. 6 months after my birth, I had my first seizure. It was then written in my script of life that it's now time for me to be a fighter. The seizures had me feeling like I was sinking, disappearing from the physical form. Like God and Satan were fighting over me. If I could have ever been so lucky. If God would win, then I would stay in the human form and I would work through him. If Satan wins, then I would leave for hell right away. I won't lie. Sometimes I would lean towards Satan just because I want the burdens of me to die with me, to leave with me. Though my friends and family, they wouldn't let me go. They said that I would shake and I would kick violently, even while my legs were feeling numb to me, while my mind was going blank of their reality to me. Future poems will be continuously written with invisible ink, spoken through wires and electrodes, studied through slides of organisms and machines, having me feel like a test tube baby or an animal. Because the activity in my brain, it wasn't normal to them. The beats of my own drum, it wasn't normal to them. They wanted details. Oh boy, did they want details to the infrastructure to these poems that I've been writing way before the physical form. You see, at this time, I still haven't written my poems to paper. I've just been writing them in invisible ink and leaving stains upon my soul. I've been living these poems, walking, talking, breathing these poems. Y'all talking about y'all been writing these poems. I am these poems. I've written myself out of overdoses through these poems. I've been resurrected and reborn through these poems. Heck, the first poem I ever did write to paper, I performed in the same day and I still got put in the friend zone. So I guess that means I wrote myself out of shyness and into encouragement and open-mindedness. I told y'all I've been living these poems, walking, talking, breathing these poems, learning, feeling, teaching myself all about myself all through these poems. Some of y'all are going to be reading my poems after my death because some of y'all weren't even born yet when I wrote these poems, when I lived these poems. I am these poems. I am I-Nspiration. And I'm a person of extraordinary talent. I'm a poet.
One day, I looked up, smiled, blew a kiss, and waved, daring the sun to a sultry staring contest. To look at me for as long as possible with unwavering wonderment, spark a fire of desire within me, while shining as happily as their huggable rays reaching out to me, a warm, steamy embrace like hot apple pie fresh out the oven, to stare intensely as they kiss the tip of my nose, a sizzling spark of electricity leaving behind a cherry blush, stained gloss, smelling of burnt roses. Before they dared blink a wink, a flicker of their shine overcast behind cloudy eyelids of impending darkened gloom. The sun smirked and chuckled at the challenge, jokered me with glaring quips slipping from their drooling, sarcastic lips. The sun slit me open with their roasted toast, burning my soul through my stained glass eyes. I've been torched and trolled. The sun taunting me, cursing me to forever see their embossed reflective image no matter where my eyes trace its vision. The sun then threw out pickup lines, a round robin flare up of focused flirtation saying how deep my brown eyes looked like melted hazelnut chocolate dripping under their gaze. Glimmering and shimmering in its sunlit glow, my undimmed eyes constrict to undress more of my iris, evident how awe-stricken I was as its pinnacle spectacle, hoping to tease and throw them off guard by peeping at my alluring entrancement to gawk with coquettish admiration. I faltered. I failed. I blinked first. The sun was just too much of a hottie. I couldn't help but swoon bashfully. The intense staring became too overwhelming as the sun blazed towards me in a come hither fashion. I soon welled up inside with undying passion. The sun pulled me in closer to its sweltering proximity as if to whisper sweet nothings. With one breathless sigh, the sun replied, I win. I knew you'd give in. My heat is your sin.
I hold on to the weight of life's challenges, ever trying to change their course. Since I know that it is love's creation, why not be the change I long to see? I'm at the mercy of destiny, which dances on my forehead, a diamond woven from glittery gems stuck within the confines of my self-made prison. Angels in heaven are trying to pull me up, yet demons block the path to my ascent. My loneliness hurts, like the silent noise within me, wearing my mask and invisible scars, entreating the unknown to see whether I can escape suffering or become worthy enough for paradise. Is there really a nirvana of which men speak? Everything holds on to something, even as the vines and foliage hold on to the nourishing earth, while being replenished by the radiant sun. Even at dawn, trees are proud of their leaves, cherishing admiration in secret. At just 16, my mother gave in to curiosity, infatuation, and the wiles of a man keen to make promises to feed his cravings, not the heart of a woman who held on to those passing pleasures for 77 summers. In my anxiety and quest for love, I hold on to that which I know will not fulfill me, failing to see the transience of its nature, or at best, staying because it appears to appease the hurt of my insecurities and fears. I'm out there in the arid desert, holding on to the mirage, dying of thirst, and still searching for my oasis. I cradle my sorrows like one who takes pleasure in talking about regrets, gravitating to sad songs and more chocolate binging, while happiness evades me like the tail of a dog. Trapped in my own spider's weaving, the allure is too fragrant, and like roses, I become entangled in my own thorns, longing for a gardener and secretaries to trim my uncomely habits of roaming, like a sat-nav gone faulty, even in some flash Mercedes. Everything holds on to something. Plato took away my fetters, so I'll be free. But instead of following his streak of light, I'm like sardines, trapped by my own enticement to temptations, in a fisherman's net of despondency and despair. If I continue grasping, my limitations will be boundless. No right, no wrong, but only impermanence. O love, you alone have borne my plight. Tell my fallen heart that enough is enough. Show me the path to your birthless peace.
They say God took you away because you had fulfilled your purpose. And I always thought you were a blessing, that you were my guardian angel in the form of a brother placed here on earth to protect my spirit from being broken by the one we called mom. Though you were 5 years younger with no power and no way to stop her, you kept me sane. Looked up and poured into me, lifted my spirits. When she tore me down, you were always beyond your years. You just knew what to do and how to stop my tears. In the light of our mother's passing, I could finally breathe, no longer a burden. I was finally set free with a chance to be who I was born to be. But 6 months later, you left me. So was your purpose to save me? Because if your purpose was to save me, then why the hell did you leave me? Why, when I was finally free, when I could finally breathe without her breathing down my back, you vanished? Like you were just done with me. They say God gives his strongest soldiers the hardest battles. Well, you were the strongest. You were so smart, outgoing, loved by many. So why am I the one still here, dragging my feet through this life you once lit up? While everyone tells me it was God's plan, like that's supposed to mean a damn thing. I needed you, still need you, but now all I have is your urn on my shelf and your voice in my head. If your purpose was to save me, then what the hell am I now? Saved? I'm broken, I'm pissed, and I'm tired of pretending that your death was anything but a cruel joke played on me. Because our mother's gone and so are you, and I'm stuck here alone with nothing but rage and the pieces of who I used to be. 30 years wasn't enough, not even close. I wanted more time, more laughter, more of your stupid jokes, more time to tell you that you were the best brother, and I don't know where I've been without you. They say grief is love with nowhere to go, but that's a lie. It goes everywhere with me. I sit in it every day, and I have nowhere left to put it except into every word I write, every poem I recite. So if your purpose was to save me, maybe you still are. Because through this grief, through this pain, I haven't completely broke yet. I'm still standing, still writing, and maybe that's you, your love, refusing to die just because you did.
Always assessed allegorically adorable anecdotes, articulately addressing any assumingly amended addendums and altered agendas. Anymore, ambivalently attacking with an antiquated arsenal of amplified animosity aptly and ably applied to abjectly ailing allies. Affably, I applaud the admirably aspiring and affectionately alienable actions autonomously apparent anytime anyone astutely attempts to adaptively acclimate to acutely and abusively affected atmospheres, ambiances, auras, and amicabilities. I'm absolutely astounded and amazingly astonished by how aggressively adamant and abhorrently averse to acknowledging actual analytically assessed affirmations as so many avid absolution alienating addicts so absurdly and acrimoniously are. Aimless ambiguity and ardent arbitrariness anonymously assist in adding augmented amounts of agonizingly avowed appropriations to the already arduously arrested and abominably aching aftermath of this anthropically aimed artificial attack. Actually, it's abysmally anxietal, also apprehensively and appallingly alarming, because braggingly boastful bureaucratic bastards brashly bargain like bird-brained, blunderingly buffoonic bozos, bodaciously bringing big ball-busting bulldozers, blindly bullying, bereavingly bleeding and burden-bred beasts. But I bravely breathe to briefly benefit from the blankly benign benevolence bequeathed to and bestowed upon us. Before becoming brazenly bitter, become beneficently better. Build a broader base, brightly broadening our beyond bountifully boundless and bloomingly beautiful baby's best. Because I've been backbreakingly busy, broadly breaking bales of bodega-bought bread and barrels of briskly brewed beer, bourbon, and brandy. Booze. Also, continuously concentrate on continually clandestine congregations centrally centered on corruptly concealed collusions, creatively culminating into criminally cruel and caustically cancerous calamities. Because corrosively capricious communists chronically crave crucially conflicting conditions, crassly creating cosmically chaotic camps, coercively constricting classically classy cowboys, and contemptuously convicting candidly compassionate compadres. So courageously combine the cautiously commingling classes, couthly causing a credibly clear cleansing and conscientious consciousness, consequently catering to a culturally comprehensive culmination commonly classified as a community.
It all comes to a frothy boil when someone is pushed to their limits, when the browbeating, the name-calling, the pigeonholing propagates, rage manifests, overflows, a once normally adjusted person suddenly implodes, as if a meteor crash landed on Earth, utter devastation. Onlookers will jeer. Other people in the vicinity will get trampled. Safety becomes a priority, and that person becomes the #1 public enemy. He is overcome with a seething hate in his heart. It has blinded his once cool composure that gets composted. Adrenaline augments his body. He feels flights of superhuman grandiosity, but it's never long lasting. It goes out with a whimper like he does as a bullet exits a chamber to put him down before he causes more damage to a populace that's solely responsible for his unwieldy mental state. He is now a shriveled remnant of the jolly good Samaritan. He no longer greets his neighbors or shines his shoes for work. This is no longer his Truman Show, but he'll always be observed, studied for generations.
When I was a child, the church said, spare the rod, spoil the child. My foster mother said, go outside and pick a switch. My cousin said, don't get it too thin. I know now, don't get it too thick. Imagine Goldilocks in your pain, bargaining with branches, beat me beautiful. I was not a bad child, just a battered one, given too much to cry for. Fuck, I already fucked up, see? Given too much to cry for. When the switch was not enough, I would kneel on rice, hands outstretched like crucifixion, balancing Bibles and behavior. And the church said, spare the rod, spoil the child. And I will not be spoiled, will be fresh meat, ripe for the slaughter. In the Bible, children are always good for the sacrifice. Except here, there is no burning bush to save me. I have stripped it of its serrated switches. The fire is only in their eyes. The only difference between a bad child and a bad slave is the beating is not public. There is no one to scare but the child. Everything that happens in this house stays there, even the prayers. So when the child asks for help, the church says, honor thy father and thy mother. Even when they have stripped the family tree of its switches, even when you can count your bloodlines and the marks on your back, even when your hands are duct taped together and the prayer is asking why. And the church says, spoiled children are the worst to come of this. How they make altar a broken child, broken promise, and broken spirit, and somehow still call the church stable, call it foundational, built with all the bloody rods left over from the not sparing and the not sparring and the not spoiling, just a weaponized misinterpretation of scripture, twisted into secrets in the pews with stained glass children in the windows who grow up to abandon faith. And the church says, my child, why have you forsaken me?
It all comes down to math, zeros and ones, the programming of a whole. That black hole algebra, and Tesla knew it was all light. Natural vibration, the universe hidden behind the nines. A frequency that combines the collective consciousness where we're not all on the same side of the balance, where there's night, there is day, and all matter is not the same. We're all part of a bigger act, both victim and crime, all spinning on an axis through space. Observers, gypsies of eternity, our souls, pure energy, and feeling is everything. See, for me, it's always been about the threes. And it was 3 days that would define my life, change my trajectory, engage my destiny. And I wish I could tell you it was pretty. It was anything but. The lone survivor of the fire sifting through the ash to find what remains, forging forward, raw, new, molding my greatest masterpiece. I was on the biggest bender of my life, slipping between dream and reality. The Carmen line had dissipated and there was no more boundary. I couldn't define what was real anymore. I heard them say they'd be better off without me. The whispers of shadows and darkness, and I believed them. I was everyone's past with a dream, romancing disaster with pornographic eyes, undressing chaos so it could fuck me poetically without apology. A beautiful disaster, broken by the darkness that consumed me in flames. My apathy of flared emptiness shaded my shadow till it appeared no more in light of the moon. Reality's mirror, a vampire, my reflection, a ghostly phoenix, wings broken by the weight of ash, and stars no longer shine in the eyes of this child. Thy mother, unholy, goat's milk bleeding from vacant nipples, and I, the black sheep, evicted too soon from the nest. Back turned to seek attention, a spark, false pretense masked by a flame, and the devil was stirring echoes that echoed in the caves of this mind. Silence, no more. Drums, hairless, without skin, absorb no sound, leaving this buzzing in my ears. I remember opening the door for her. It was raining, our feet were wet, her dress was drenched. I closed her door. I skipped through the puddles to the other side of the car and let myself in. I started the car, turned the heat on, reached into the back seat and grabbed a dry hoodie for her to wear. She put it on and we drove back to her house in a nervous silence. Her energy, frequency, erratic. I could feel the static building as it took my breath away, leading my mind astray. Her ambrosia, a heavenly fruit, vine trimmed a peach, sinful titillation, my salvation had me salivating, dripping in my dreams in her scent I could never forget. I wonder if life exists after death, a moment, thought that brings me closer to realizing maybe it's all just a joke and I'm the joker. A faulty deck of cards, and there can be only one in this hand. My wild card has escaped me.
Wake up, get up, out of bed, wash your face and around your eyes, move the crust aside. Time's taking an emotion. No time to lollygag. No time to question your motivation or sense of purpose. No time to feel sorry for yourself, for what you don't have, or for what you do have but actually didn't really want. No time to question why things are unfair and run by the wrong team at the wrong time. It's not fair. You're right. It's rigged. I agree. Against you and against me and anyone else who still believes in empathy and the power of poetry, and anyone else who still believes in empathy and the power of poetry. So now that you know, what do? Stay passive, frozen in your seat in a state of shock? Or do you hit back, fight back, all out attack? And I know the odds don't look good enough to win, but guess what? They never did. And you're still here. I'm still here. We're still here. Let's prove them wrong. Get things done. It's not too late. They don't know about us or what we've been through, the obstacles we've overcome to have a seat at the table, the awkward stares, the cold looks, the disappointment that the mirror gives us every time we fail. They don't understand that we're harder on ourselves than they could ever be. They don't understand what it feels like to never be enough. They don't understand what it feels like to never be enough, no matter how hard we try. But you know what? We're still in this. It's not a lost cause. So get the hell up. Take a deep breath. Wipe the tears from your eyes. It's okay to be overwhelmed, to show emotion, vulnerability. It doesn't make you weak. It shows you're human, but it's not okay to give up. You got this. 4 more rounds. Lift your head. Protect your face. Work the jab. Watch for the hook. Go for the body. Uppercut to the chin. We got this. You ready now? Let's get things done.
Artistic assignment has been accepted. Busybody poets brought in their artistic scope, cramming in all-nighters, consistently composing dynamic domains of diversified poetry, emotionally engaging enthusiasts of poetry with fundamentally formulated poetic principles, gearing up to guide their guarded page poems into highly effective, hypnotically entranced spoken word acts, inviting instinctually interpretive instructors of each mind to journey through a poet's mind of jeweled treasures of poetic jargon, keeping kindred spirits closely knit where keen knowledge is shared, learning from a legion of poetic legends, new linguistics of poetic language, magically molding myriads of poetic minds, naturally inclined to nose around, nibbling on each other's poetic discoveries, obsessed with overindulgence and oral therapeutic sessions of opinions, emotions, passing persuasions of intellect through perfected proofread pronunciations, questioning quintessential quality of this artful craft, responsibility to keep it real while reimagining the realms of life, studiously searching for new ways to stitch together words of speech, testing boundaries of this art form, forever reminded time is of the essence. Understanding how critiques are utilized in the upkeep of techniques poets use, vulnerable to voyeurs of poetry, victimized by our own vernacular verbiage. Wakening our creative spirits to wade through writer's block, where soon is seen x-rayed viewings into a poet's soul, their truth becoming Xerox reflections of yours. Yearning to never yield to our poetic urges through the years, entering the zone of live poetic learning with zeal to zap us to the next poetic hemisphere.
Love dries the copious tears spilling from my broken dreams, the heaviness of loneliness, the stains of deep remorse. Gently, she pats the roses covering the scars where thorns once sat enmeshed in a foliage of desires. You've done well, she whispers. The light that shines within has erased the darkness of a shadowed past. Arise, my sweet, sweet angel. The bruise of past regrets shall no more shine. The fragrance of the dawn is gleaming. I felt my shoulders breathe. My heart cried tears of joy, the soul now laughing with the sun. Love kissed my wounds, no more the toil of suffering and despair, for I was born anew. The voice of freedom sang to me, her bird of hope, now perching on my newfound dreams of bliss divine, my lack of expectations. I bowed, paid homage to the light, paid homage to the light. Now I'm a lamp unto others, for it is through light that I have learned to embrace the darkness. Each soul has its own struggles, and its thoughts turn largely upon itself. Yet I do not look down on others, as the flame in me is the same spark yearning in another soul for freedom. I wish to be a bridge of lava for weary souls to cross over their chasms, me doing this in solidarity, but just as an unripe mango may not be succulent in taste, so too its soul must traverse the pendulums of its own journey. I can accommodate the fire of desires, for love sets my trials in its cycle, and dishonor is but a transient wound, bleeding in the fire of remorse and shame. Yet treasures are hidden in afflictions, which are simply candles of the divine. Each soul is unique, a river of consciousness, offering something significant to creation. For when the heart is low on flowers, she will offer weeds as minerals, even as she feeds me living water from a reservoir of love that never fades. When my daily grind seems heavy, or I am hurt by the sharp blades of jealousy and backbiting, I will drop to my knees, fix my gaze on Jannah and my hands in holiness, knowing by faith that an ardent prayer will always summon the voice within. It manifests in my sorrows, waits on me to accept my challenges, removes gently my grip on self-reliance. For love liberates and will transform me into the immaculate brilliance of the soul. I am not in charge, simply a conduit or vessel that the Most High uses to glorify itself. And by being a lamp unto others, I create a vibration which not only inspires my happiness, but enhances the joy and beauty of love's creation of Mother Earth. It is in the light of inner sweetness that its soul transcends, rising in joy to meet the needs of its brethren spirits, sharing the delights of beauty and peace acquired from the unknowable. Be brave, O lantern carrier, an inner warrior, a flicker constantly striving to become a flame, to tie your hopes and dreams on the ascent of phoenixes. Soaring the perennials on a cauldron of blaze, you burn the dross of ignorance, carving a golden path to return to the light of the unspoken. Listen, not with a dissecting mind, but to that sweet voice that speaks in silent music, either to shadows paved with loneliness or the unfurling lilac lavenders of seasonal spring. You will then shine with glory, steeped in the magnificence of love.
I'm learning to change the way I see things. I guess you can say I have new eyes. I have to go and rearrange things so that I can begin to realize I am my own hero. A bad girl to the bone turned myself from zero to hero, and now I sit on my own throne. I reign over my own kingdom with the certainty I cannot shake. I'm something like a phenom that can make a whole room quake. I'm a bad mamma jamma. Even in my pajamas, I can turn heads without even having to leave my bed. Baby, I am the one and only divine. And if I must remind you, I am always on time. I keep a notepad locked and loaded for me to spill out my trauma. I've learned to decipher and decode it, but I didn't get that from my mama. I learned that meditation and medication are two different types of healing. I'm now using my education to figure out how I am feeling so that the children I have birthed don't decide to shut me out before I depart from this earth. I want them to know all about what it's like to know your emotions and the different ways to calm your mind, other than just drinking potions that can make you lose track of time. Those are called spirits. And wouldn't you know, they could kill yours, but y'all ain't trying to hear it, so I guess I'll just move forward. I'll work on my own recipes to help me heal myself, get rid of all my enemies and put hatred on a shelf. I don't need a happy ending. I just need a little time with the one I'll be depending on if they are patient and they are kind. Maybe I can open up one day and let myself feel love. Maybe then I'll find the best way to say thank the heaven up above. I'm grateful for the life I have and the one I'm going to live. I don't need anyone to feel sad over the love I chose to give. It was a gift I chose to give freely, even if it was a return, because love just comes so easily even after being burned. I'm still going to say I love you until my lungs give out, whether or not it is us two eventually exchanging vows. I'm going to heal so much that others will want to do the same, until I begin to blush at the mention of my name when it comes to favorite authors in the genre that is poetry, or when I begin to get love offers simply because of my flowetry. Until then, I'll write my heart out in this notepad of my life, because Our story will eventually start out with me agreeing to be your wife.
My diction's dangling has been dangling inside epiphanies dangerously. I'm life, where closet skeletons hang their birthday suits up at. Proud you would be, fashioned from within this. My walk-in closet is a club where my skeletons, my friends' skeletons, party like rock stars on standby death, frowning at my fashionably late always. I plan on being caught off guard in an off-the-clearance rack smile that looks a lot like sincerely. It's okay, stranger. There's no one living alive, successfully living in the lies that they sell themselves. So daddy, don't wait for me, pops. Just promise me, Father, whenever you bump into Jesus, ask him where you can find his favorite wine cellar. I'll promise you I'll be there in the well-tailored kid, in the three-piece suited hangover, rocking his vintage cracked halo, still barely being held together with duct tape, and the last few authentic smiles I seen right before they closed the casket on me. Tell my wife to bury me with some whiskey, some writing prompts, one of her favorite wind chimes, and a wine corkscrew. I'll wine cellar see you, crisis daddy, and you there later, pops. Truth be told, these palms stay patting down these pockets like they're trying to calm down my poverty. Find my chapstick for my lip surface crack smiles every time karma swung at me. Flinch, never. I feel alive when I'm locked up, locked eye to eye, locked within every one of my regrets. It's karma dancing around living rooms left in my lungs, wearing nothing but a mother's last heartbeat tattooed on her forearm, and the t-shirt with no panties on. Desperately she knows I need to know what God's honest truth looks like when there's nothing human left to hide behind. There are monsters begging miracles to get God naked on my tongue. Early on, in every anywhere bar, any and every time I ever chose the right cup to pour all of my heart into, it always came on the rocks. Dear Creator, these butterflies in my stomach desperately need to know what all of our gods' seasoned meals taste like. This lava saliva on my tongue tastes just like leftover dirty holy water, leftover boiling on stove overnight last night. Somebody tell my sins to sit heaven the hell down and let me and my metaphors cook. I am hungry. And winter's always coming, my friend. And I'm so not sorry all of my stop sign sins are so stop sign fine. And my depression is not my lowercase God. And that's a lie. My lowercase God wants me to ask you to be honest with yours. Don't force me to slide Lucifer into semi-reload my magazine full of Messiah and manna and kill everything. Not hallelujahing. Is it your job? Is that your lowercase God? What if heaven is just a really well-designed escape room? I'm life, where closet skeletons hang their birthday suits up at. Is Jesus your insecurities brand name that you can't hold on to? I love you. I'm life, where closet skeletons hang their birthday. Every book in the Bible were written by men, so someone tell the book of Genesis to stop goddamn gaslighting Eve. I'm life, where closet skeletons hang their birth. I am from the very same stuff that birthed the stars, and that shit ain't up for debate. My diction's dangling has been dangling inside epiphanies, dangerously. I'm life, with claws and skeletons hang their birthday suits up at. Proud you would be if you were also fashioned from within this shit.
My mother always had $1 for the ice cream truck, 50 cents for brown bag penny candy, and a quart of water if you act right. Sometimes the money was brown, but it still spent the same. If there was any other colors left in the book, you were coronated king, until the rich kids told you otherwise, until the Bank of Madre joined the Federal Reserve. Or in other words, Mama went to jail. Commerce turned cries for commissary. If you're lucky, the mailman will hand you her 2 cents, signed, sealed, delivered. But the corner store don't let you pay in moments of grief. Even when society says your pain is worth something, it tells you to free your mind. Even when your blood is locked up, nothing is free. Even summers are stolen when the year is broken down into quarters and everyone refuses to make change. I got a pocket full of pennies trying to post bail. You got a penny for your thoughts. We are not the same. I bet if we counted up our summers and put them together, accounted for incarceration and inflation, we can only make a difference. So let's make a difference before it costs too much to pay attention.
In the spring of 1998, I was 16 and already in love with hip hop. It took over my heart and had me obsessed with learning rap lyrics on the daily as I printed page after page at school from the library computer, ignoring my classwork. Instead, I worked on music appreciation, and I hope that hip hop appreciated me in the way I became submerged in music and culture and fashion. But my favorite hip hop song of 1998 had no rap lyrics to memorize. In fact, it kind of sounded like jazz, reggae, and funk. It kind of had a hook and repeated damn like at least 35 times. It was kind of an introduction to spoken word, but at that time, I had no idea what the hell that even was. And it was by a rap duo called Outkast, who said they were from outer space, but actually they were from Atlanta. And one of them wore Atlanta Braves jackets and starter caps, and the other wore football pads with furry pants. And the name of the song was only one word, but had over 20 letters. And because of this song, I spent my junior year looking for my sporty oldie dopalicious angel, but never really found her. And the first time I heard this song, I felt like I was floating in space while trumpets, drums, and electric guitars were shooting past me like meteors and comets, and exploring galaxies never before seen, and landing on a distant planet where a language of trumpet riffs and syncopated drum beats stay carved in my memory like hieroglyphics on papyrus. Hearing this language as clear as day now, it kind of sounded like this. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And each time I hear it, I feel like it's the first time, and it's the only song I've heard that seems to stay frozen in time and sounds even better with each play. And like the kids say, it's a vibe. And when I hear this song, I'm 16, carefree, and on a school bus on a field trip to Philadelphia, PA. We're trading CDs and discovering new music with friends, with comparable to cavemen discovering fire. And when I hear this song, I'm 19 at the club where the DJ plays the track, and anybody who was seated has now magically teleported to the dance floor with their drink firmly in their hands, while everybody's in unison repeating, "This is my interpretation of the situation." And when I hear Sporty Oldie Dopalicious by Outkast now at 42, I'm likely playing it for my kids who have learned through me that the best hip hop was made between 1994 and 2003, and learned through me that music, when it's innovative and doesn't sell out its soul, will never get old. Sometimes I wonder if I'm past my prime, or if it's time for me to just gracefully bow out of this poetry journey while I sit on the beach somewhere drinking a pina colada at a brightly colored straw. See, I've been doing this long enough that I can prepare poems that paint pictures placating to those who prefer the imagery filled with beauty and serenity, all while effortlessly sprinkling a little ration generously like it's a spice on top of a poetic bowl of sopa de mondongo. And I've been doing this long enough that my words are able to empower and uplift a reader or listener when they're going through their darkest hours. But don't get it twisted, because I still got what it takes and can still get down, lock and load, and poetically squabble up at a moment's notice, meaning I'm still razor sharp with this pen and have no problem treating this poetry thing like a blood sport. So just call me Maximus. And my Coliseum is any physical or virtual stage. Actually, just call me Wall Poet, which sounds kind of like my favorite superhero, Batman. But instead of a utility belt and a cape, I carry around a backpack with poetry books, a whiteboard, and dry erase markers. But hold on, because often it might seem like the older I get, the more I can't hang like I used to. And just because I'm getting older doesn't mean I can't see past formulaic styles of vocabulary that regurgitates poets we've all heard before. And I've been known to set ablaze a stage or two, gripping a microphone like David holds a slingshot and ready to spit poems like my life depended on it. Because I was rocking stages when a lot of you were in elementary school, and I can't tell you much about the latest TikTok dances or use the term Riz correctly in a complete sentence, but I can go toe to toe against poets who can eclipse the sun with just their words, because I still got this hunger to prove myself like when I was 21, but now the metaphors and similes I carry in the bag across my shoulder weighs at least 2 tons. And the life experience that allows me to survive in the most adverse situations is priceless. But I can't deny that at times it feels like I'm on a stationary bike, pedaling so fast but not getting anywhere. But maybe I do want to stay in this poetry game just a little bit longer, because each day I slowly begin to realize that my biggest opposition may actually just be me being so stuck in my head that it affects what I can achieve. So maybe I need to use this poem as my mantra and reminder that I can still do this, and I'm still capable of permanently knocking imposter syndrome off my shoulder, reminding myself that I'm capable of overcoming even the most insurmountable challenges that lies ahead. And sometimes I do wonder if I'm past my prime, but now I get over it by repeating the following words to myself: I still got it.
I wanted to die. But then God said that my life wasn't mine to give, so how could it ever be mine to take? So I asked why. Why bring me to such a place where the very skin that you placed me in is hated? My tone is called too black and my song too strong for their senses. You birthed me into hell and then you left me here. Call love my smile purpose and my pain necessary. And I trusted you. In the midnight hour, when everything was failing, I trusted you, looked into mirrors and saw you in the reflection of me, so I trusted you, sounded and surrounded by death and destruction, hatred and racism. God, I still trust you, even when I am so angry with you, confused by you and what feels like a distance, a great distance from you. I trusted you. I trust you have a plan. I trust your mighty hands. I trust that you haven't failed me yet, so why would you start now? So I trust you when everything hurts. When my wounds are made to sting by the dirt that the world has covered me in, I will still trust you. When the bombs come and the streets are red with the blood of the meek, Lord, I will still trust you. Listen to my people saying that we are not our ancestors, but that is a lie. We are all of their tries, all of their failures, and all of their passionate successes. We gave this world love, and now we carry Glocks on our hips and bulletproof vests across our chest, because now we are our ancestors' wisdom. And every trick the devil ever delivered, they suffered so that we could identify sin before it arrived, and all of man's lies on their wicked little tongues. Their blood flows through our veins like fire, as your sons has always covered us, so I thank you that my life wasn't mine to take. And oh, do I give thanks that the curses that our ancestors suffered are now in the hands of the mighty meek to break, for the meek shall inherit the earth. But if you only called my submission to you and my husband, oh, to be the meek at the feet of God, but the rest of this world, yeah, they can catch the heat of this Glock, for I am in this world and still not of it. They can catch the countdown of this clock, for when he comes, there will be silence. When he comes to steal back your precious gift to this place, oh, when he comes and the clock stops, no more tick-tock. I wonder what side of the rapture will be the result of their faith or the result of their take. Oh, what I wouldn't give to see the look on their face. So in the end, dear Goliath, you can just call me David.
Maybe if my mother had loved me. I mean, really loved me, not out of obligation, not because I was a consequence of her mistake, but actually wanted me. Maybe I would know what unconditional love feels like instead of writing what I imagined it would look like. So, what would loving me look like if my mother's trauma didn't raise me? I imagine a life where I wasn't the target or the problem. I imagine not being shoved, slapped, screamed at, backhanded, and punched on. I imagine I wouldn't have been locked in my bedroom, though those four walls were safer than being in her presence. I imagine it's not starving me as punishment. I imagine it would look like her knocking before entering, not reading my journals and notes and tearing my room apart when she's angry. I imagine she tells me I'm beautiful, that I'm smart, that I could be anything I wanted to be, that I was going to be somebody. I imagine she shows up to my basketball games to cheer me on. I imagine she lets me talk about my crushes, my fears, my identity without shutting me down. I imagine she doesn't roll her eyes at me when I speak or twist my words or call me a stupid bitch. I imagine she hugs me when I need it, not just when she wanted something from me. I imagine she listens. I mean, really listens. I imagine we laugh like actual laughter. I imagine I wouldn't have to have prayed to be saved before she put me in a grave. I imagine not being blamed for her bad days. I imagine not hearing you're just like your dad as if I ever asked to be here. I imagine if I was that beautiful biracial daughter she always wanted, I would have been enough. Loving me without my mother's trauma means her seeing me for me not as a burden or her biggest regret, just her one and only baby girl, Tanya. And maybe being a teenager would have felt so lonely, so heavy, so painful, so empty, and so full of questions that I never got answers to or was forced to answer on my own.
Trapped inside these walls, and I'm the one that built them. I'm lost inside these walls, like the keys I misplaced after I placed them on the same table where I normally place them. Now I'm screaming inside these walls, and I'm the only one that heard them. There's no ceiling attached to these walls. I swear there's people outside of these walls. I know I heard them. I forgot my tools outside of these walls. And I ain't put no windows or no doors in. I'm playing bloody knuckles. Oh Lord, I built these walls good. I know there's people outside of these walls. They just want to keep me trapped in. They're scared of the knowledge that I'm giving, the game that I'm teaching, the people that I'm reaching. 13 years of age, I'm motivating my daughter to put her wall in. Speaking to her mind through mind, digging in mind like a mind, speaking to those walls like a mind. Manifesting her dreams like they're mine. Guiding her through her nightmares because they're mine. Staring at these walls eye to eye because they're mirror mine. I'm trying to burn a hole up in these walls like I got laser eyes. Tapping into my third eye, trying to remember how to climb with these spidey senses floating around inside my mind. Watching me as I soar above these walls of mine. Ain't no cap on mine. I'm my inspiration. Beyond in time, I am my inspiration in time. I will not dress words up in wardrobes of distraction. My words are naked and bear truth. Censorship was loaded up as freight and shipped to places and people where it screams, you can't handle the truth. My words expose truths that are sometimes explicit and as sexual escapades that stem from soul ties between my goddess and I. My words will not be tamed nor lack passion. When spoken and displayed through activism, town hall, school board, civil rights, mental health, epilepsy, and performing arts, my words speak truth. My words, they don't spitbox. My words sometimes will give warning before the fight, so please, heed that warning. If I don't like something, I change it. If not, my words, I will shut the fuck up and deal with it. If I don't speak up and change it, then I don't have no right to use my words to complain about it. Those who know me well will tell you that my words, my actions, they will not remain silent. My words raise the volume on unmuted mics. My words will be used to inspire, to motivate, to fight the good fight. I am a person of extraordinary talent. I am I-Nspiration. I am Poet